Hey there, what's up, and welcome to the Phil Studio. Today is a great day because we're going to attempt to repair a power amplifier. So one of my customer referred this new customer to me, came into the studio with his power amplifier, and I was a bit surprised because most of my customers are musician, and I was expecting to receive an instrument amplifier, but it's a Creek audio system CAS4040 tuner tape amplifier. The issue right now is that there's no sound. I am not a fan of repairing power amplifier, but I said I would check it anyway. So let's open it. So first of all, it's fairly easy. You have a small screw cap, a plastic screw cap here. If you have a long nail, you can remove it, but I'm not going to do that. I use a small flathead screwdriver and I just go gently under and pry it right there, and you have a Phillips screw right here. So it's pretty weird because it's a wood screw and not like a mechanical screw. And I'm not really used to these model of amplifier, so I'm curious what I'll find in there. I'll do the same on the other side. Be really gentle because this amplifier finish is wood. So you don't want to like scrap it or scratch it. So it's my first time opening one of these. Fairly simple power amplifier. And oh yes, what was mostly surprising is when the customer gave me this to test it. Basically it's I think it's a MIDI plug to RCA, and I was like, okay, how do you plug your guitar in there? But after like a few seconds I realized, okay, this is not a guitar amplifier, it's just a regular power amplifier. And well, it's using probably 4 of the 5 pin ground, right and left input. So that's kind of weird, but yeah, it's working. And the output, we have the left output there with the left ground of the speaker, the loudspeaker, right and right ground. And here you have switched speaker to output, which means it's not amplified. So it's the exact signal as the HP. But if you HP for headphone, if you connect headphone, I think it will cancel these. So first, like real quick, what I can see is that it's pretty clean. It doesn't smell the fried chicken in there. It doesn't smell anything. So the first thing we can start is probably by testing the power fuse. There's one there and one there, so we'll test both fuse, but I doubt this is the issue because I plugged it real quick and the power LED was lighting on. So just to show you that, yeah, so the fuse is fine here. 0.001 is low enough. Fuse is fine too. And what's weird is we have 1 and 2 fuse here. I don't know what they serve. This one is 0.2. This one is infinity. Okay, so we have a suspect here, 1 fuse blown. And I'm not sure what these fuses are for. And just to remind you, the customer told me that it stopped working. So seeing that, let's test it while it's open and test both speaker and see what's going on, and we'll check that fuse later, right after. Okay, so let me show you my testing setup because it's pretty weird or unusual and nice. And out of camera, I tested the HP, which is the headphone, by the way, and not the haut-parleur, because in French, HP is for haut-parleur, which is a loudspeaker, but in English, it's HP for headphone. So right now, I'm using this device, and for sure, there will be a video about that, because I spent like a month programming this, and I feel like it's pretty crazy, and it deserves some demo or whatever. So the output right left are going to this adapter, which is connected into the auxiliary input, and right now I'm testing the right output. So it's working fine. So it's working fine, so I'm just gonna power it off. And I'm going to test the left speaker. That's weird. The right speaker is working fine. Let's turn the volume down and power it on, and we're going to test it. So right now I have no sound at all, and it's in the tapis, or full power, dans le tapis, Chris, like we say in French or Québécois, because French and Québécois is not the same. So auxiliary input, the left one works, right one doesn't work. And does it have something to do with that fuse? We'll just check it out. So I checked it earlier, and I saw that this fuse was a 2 amp. I don't have a 2 amp right away, but for the test, I'll use a 1.5 amp. And for sure, I will never let this go into my customer's end without the right fuse, because if I damage his speaker and the fuse, the original fuse, was not replaced with a proper one, well, I don't think I'll be in the shit, and I want to do like the best job I can. So I'll replace this 2 amp switch with 2 amp fuse with the right fuse when I have it in hand. And if that works, this means I feel like the purpose of these fuse is to protect either the input. So I'm not sure, I've never seen that, but I feel like it makes sense. So let's power it on, turn the volume. So we have something, which means that the problem was only the fuse. Well, it's a good repair, well done. And have you seen that? The fuse just popped out. So I might replace that fuse holder, because right now it's not right if it just popped out like that. Yeah, that's weird. And I'm going to mention that even powered off, we still have music, because this fat ass capacitor stays charged forever, which is not dangerous, but don't put your finger there. So we'll repair, we'll change that fuse holder, replace the fuse for a 2 amp fuse, and it'll be good to go for my customer. So I know I said I would replace the fuse holder, but before you take such an extreme measure, you can always try to just use a small pair of pliers and squeeze it gently so you are able to shape back the fuse holder, and hopefully now it will click in place. Okay, now it's pretty solid, so no need to replace it. And another thing I'll do is I'll use some contact cleaner, and I'll clean the shaft and the contact of all the knob, as well as the switch, because I feel the volume is a bit noisy and my customer will be fairly happy about that.
Son, how do you push stop on that?